We got word in from CPD about 20 minutes ago. Good afternoon, Christian. I'm here in Versailles where police believe a missing 16-year-old could be in danger. Now, to give you an idea of just how seriously officials are taking this, it's pretty common for people here in downtown Columbia to hail a cab, but Disabilities Commission members say there's one group who can't. A bomb squad, a SWAT team, and dozens of law enforcement officers have surrounded a motel in Boonville. Good evening, everybody. You might have seen parachuters floating into downtown Columbia this morning, but it took a little bit of work to make that happen. Fulton State Hospital is the only maximum security facility of its kind in the state, and after years of debate, shovels and dirt were a welcome sight. Good morning to you, Megan. I'm here at the Arc on West Ash Street in Columbia. Water levels here at the Missouri River in Jefferson City are still pretty high. In fact, they reached about 23 feet today. That's flood stage. He says in 10 years, this is the first time something like this has happened, and he wants to make sure that it never happens again.
We were very saddened by it and definitely care about kids. That's why we do what we do. The last thing we'd want for a kid to get hurt.
That's Pastor Marcus Sage, whose daycare made a mistake that could have been deadly, leaving a 3-year-old girl in a van outside the state capitol while kids went on a field trip. A passerby heard her cries and alerted Capitol Police.
The person did everything exactly right. They saw something unusual, they called the police, and they took action. It was good that this van was unlocked. She was able to get the child out while she was calling police.
Firefighters say today's quick actions prove just how crucial seconds and minutes can be.
The temperature will rise inside these vehicles relatively quick, and the body cannot resist but shutting down in these extreme conditions.
Turner demonstrated just how quickly temperatures can get dangerously high. In 15 minutes, the temperature inside a car can reach nearly 150 degrees. Police and fire officials agree if you see a child in a hot car, call 911 and do whatever it takes to get him or her out.
If our officers would have been there and that car would have been still locked, we would have forced entry into it to get the child out. And I think that's a very good recommendation.
Pastor Sage says employees miscounted the children after they exited the vehicle thinking everything was fine. He says he's immediately putting a policy in place to ensure something like this doesn't happen again.
Not only will they have the names on the list and a head count, but they will actually have to go through to where they were seated, check that seat, make sure they're out of the vehicle, then highlight their name once they're in line with their class.
Blink and you just might miss it. The small town of New Florence in Montgomery County occupies a small stretch of Interstate 70 between Columbia and St. Louis. But its police department has an interesting distinction. It's one of the few in the state that didn't give out any warnings to drivers it stopped in 2014. Drivers in New Florence racked up 99 tickets and 99 traffic stops from its police department, 25% of them on I-70. Resident Janie Ray says the lack of warnings isn't fair.
Well, really, I think there needs to be something done with it.
Police Chief David Engel told KOMU 8 News his department is small and only part-time. He says there's no policy prohibiting warnings and that officers still have discretion. And New Florence's mayor says police are doing a good job and just enforcing the law.
We have a good police department, the best chief we've ever had.
The mayor says the town isn't a speed trap and drivers caught violating the law have earned their tickets.
I hear a lot of sob stories that people, oh, I can't afford this ticket. Well, why did you go get it? You know?
At the Quinn Chapel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Jefferson City, where people came out just a few hours ago to honor those lost in last night's shooting. Now, this church shares a bond with the Emmanuel Church in Charleston. They're both of the same denomination. Tonight, people here said doors as well as dialogue should remain open. They sang, they held hands, they prayed, coming together after tragedy.
I cried. Even though I don't know the individuals and I've never attended that church, the pain of it it just struck me.
Church leaders spoke of grief and pain, but also of overcoming.
For this community and for our nation, it just reminds us that we still have a lot of work to do. That we are not as racially healed as we wanted to think we were.
And as community members came together in Jefferson City, one member says, so should our country.
I think that we need to work harder and harder to get away from this black and white thing and all that, and just work to get to the point where we just Americans.
that started in Jefferson City ended in Nebraska, but left a few unanswered questions. Good evening, I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Chris Gothner. Authorities issued an endangered person advisory for Colton Lee Dominguez, the 2-year-old abducted by his mother. KOMU8's Jacob Jones has new information on the case. MU police are searching for a suspect after a reported rape on the MU campus early this morning. A female victim told MUPD she left the downtown area with the male suspect she had met. They walked near University Hall where the alleged rape occurred. The female victim says the suspect spoke French or Portuguese with a strong accent. Police ask anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers at 875-TIPS. A new judge has been named in the trial of a man accused of kidnapping and killing 10-year-old Haley Owens. Craig Wood is charged with kidnapping, rape, and first-degree murder in the 2014 death of the Springfield girl. The Springfield News Leader reports the case has been reassigned to Judge David Jones. Prosecutors say they'll seek the death penalty if Wood is convicted. A trial date has not yet been set. A man is in custody after trying to swim away from Osage Beach police last night. Officers originally stopped the suspect for speeding and driving on the wrong side of the road. The man eventually jumped into the lake and swam across the cove. After trying and failing to climb out of the water, the suspect gave up and sat on the embankment with his hands in the air. The Missouri State Highway Patrol Water Division arrived on the scene to help catch the man, whose name has not yet been released. A woman was arrested this morning in Columbia after pulling a gun on a Red Roof Inn staff member. Officers say Bridget Banks Sims entered the lobby and told the staff to move her to a different room. When the female staffer told the suspect that she could not be moved, Banks Sims pulled a gun out of her bag and pointed it at the staff member. Banks Sims is charged with armed criminal action and second-degree assault. Thanks, Sydney. After the break, find out how you can help both the Columbia landfill and the YMCA simply by searching for treasure.